If at any point you are concerned about your odds of survival, don't be. Remember the test subject teleportation devices at the start of each test section?
Oh, please tell me they're actually cloning us.
During this test, we can simply rearrange the atoms you are made of and put them back together. Good as new.
Yeah, I am so pleased I made that Ship of Theseus reference and talked about cloning you via transporter. I swear I haven't played this game before. Hello everyone and welcome back to Astrophysicist Plays Portal Reloaded. I'm back here again, and I have good news and bad news for you. The good news is, just a day after I recorded this, the developer released a co-op update for this game, giving even more maps to play if you have someone else to play them with, or are able to clone yourself, or time travel into the future, bring your future self back to the present, and then play with your own future self. I plan to do the latter with the use of my new time portal here, but hopefully the rest of you will find a partner to play with. Now the bad news is this did break my previous save, and I had to replay a bit, but I was able to reselect the map just before I got here, and this is the type of the game where once you know the solution, it's really easy to implement it again, so it only took me about 15 minutes or so to get back here. So, without further ado, let's get on to more puzzles. Okay. So, something new here. These little things on the wall. 1, 2, 3, like little dice faces. And this switch is 3, so does that mean I have to press it third? What happens if I press it now? Maybe it's only activated briefly, and I have to activate all 3 in quick succession? Maybe one is active longer? Okay, well anyways, in the present, it doesn't look like there's any way for me to get over to the other 2. In the future, all 3 of the switches are hidden. Okay, well, let's get over there, and then we can set up a time portal here to activate number 1. Okay. Yeah, my instincts were right. Number 1 lasts longer. So, what we're going to need to do here is set up a way we can get to number 1, number 2, and then number 3. So, starting at number 1, I suspect what we can do is set up time portals in the present, which won't be overridden by ones in the future, and use the future just to get around. So, over here in the future, yeah, that one's still there. And we could set up a blue here. Okay, so that's 2 of them. Pretty easy. Okay, that's 2, this is 1, so we just go 1, 2, and on the wall over there, yeah. Going pretty well. Okay. So, that's step 1, or step 1 and 2. Now, back in the future, we want to get over to the center, then quickly create a time portal in the center so that we can get to number 3. So, okay. Yeah. Okay, go over to number 1. We've got the time portal where number 2 is. That's good. So, just running over my plan. Hopefully this'll work. We hit number 1, portal across. Hit number 2, go through the time portal. While in the future, we go through the new portal we created to get to the center, create a new time portal in the center, come out and hit number 3, and hopefully the clock is on San Dimas time and we don't have anything to worry about. So, let's give this a go. 1, 2, and 3. Ah. Brilliant. Is it stay open? Yes! Ah! Got that one almost immediately. Okay. So that actually...
Quickly make your way over these turret redemption platforms. Unfortunately, they did not survive their trip to the future. Come to think of it, it's actually quite remarkable that you are still alive.
Okay, I wonder... This is interesting. By the way, if you haven't seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, it's worth checking out. Then you'll get the San Dimas time reference. Without it, you're only getting like 10% of the jokes I'm making.
If at any point you are concerned about your odds of survival, don't be. Remember the test subject teleportation devices at the start of each test section?
Oh, please tell me they're actually cloning us.
During this test, we can simply rearrange the atoms you are made of and put them back together. Good as new.
Yeah, I am so pleased I made that Ship of Theseus reference and talked about cloning you via transporter. I swear I haven't played this game before. Oh. Yeah, so they actually were thinking along the same lines. They'll just clone me via transporter. Of course, there's one flaw in the plan. That clone will have the exact same state of mind as me, and so will follow the same steps and would die in the exact same way. So you would have to put in some safeguard to avoid that. They would have to change the test slightly. Alright. What do we have here? Okay. A bit of, danger water down there. And cube dispenser. Where the cube will not fall cleanly. It's interesting the way it bounces. The way it falls, it doesn't look like there's any momentum or torque either side, but once it hits the ground, it bounces off to the side. It should be stationary, but it isn't. Maybe that's deliberate, so that we have to catch it while it's going, and we can't simply let it sit first. Okay, well. Cube's over there in the present now. Okay, so let's have a look around while the cube is there. First of all, does going through this destroy the cube if I'm not holding it? Let's check. No, okay. So cube will stay there when I go through this and I'm not holding it. And, okay, ultimate goal is simply get the cube here. Now, presumably, we have to launch it from there. And to launch it from there, we will need to hold down this switch. Okay. To the future. And yes, as expected, we can get forward. So, what if we take the future cube back? Let's first make a time portal here, so we come on this side. We'll go through... Use the... Oh, yeah. Okay, so if we use the future cube to go down, we can't move the present cube. But let's move the present cube, put the present cube there. Then we go to the future, pick up the future cube, and now we have a cube that we can move. Now, the only trick is we're going to need to get over to the center, but, yeah, we can just time portal over here. Okay. Yep, that's still set up. Ooh, yeah, okay, this isn't going to work because it looks like the only way we can launch a cube is by dispensing it. Now, and if we dispense a cube in either timeline, it's going to destroy the cube. So if we, let's see, if we dispense a cube in the future, will that destroy the present cube? Yes. Okay, timelines don't work. Wait, no, we're in the present now. Okay, so let's try that again. We'll see if dispensing a cube in the future will destroy the present cube. Okay, we'll just set this up again. Present cube there. Future cube now also there. And we're in the future now. Dispense. And future cube is destroyed. But present cube is not. Okay, so we can dispense in the future and only destroy the future cube. Yeah. I'm not sure if that helps us, but it's good to know. Okay, so yeah. So let's go through our options here. Option 1, we stand here ourselves. Now, is it possible for us to run quickly enough after hitting this? Let's give it a try. No. Okay. Is it possible? Now, if we portal, then we won't have portals to work with, though. Okay, and really, we're not taking advantage of any of the work we did setting things up in the present. Okay, let's go back, go to the present here. Now, just to confirm that, yeah, I think that one's going to be destroyed as soon as we hit the switch. So, okay. We can have the present there in the present, future there in the present. We take the present there in the future and have 2 cubes to work with. Let's see. Okay. Well, no, if we take the present... Okay, present doesn't allow us to bring it anyway. Okay. Now, we've got the same timer going down, so there is some delay. And there's deliberately delay. Which means the delay is probably crucial to solving this puzzle. Now, I can't run all that way before it falls. No. Yeah, it's not enough delay. So, why do we have the delay? So if I do it now, it destroys that one. That doesn't give us any more delay to work with. Okay. What if... Okay. Can I just keep it going through that one indefinitely? It will lose energy, but how quickly will it lose energy? Well, let's give this a try. So, yeah, that's definitely losing energy. So our plan is we're gonna have to get there, quickly shoot off the time portal somewhere else. I don't think we can just override it if it's there. So while it's in there, we're going to need to do a quick two-step of shooting it somewhere else and then shooting the blue one there, which... Okay, let's shoot the blue one somewhere else so we can shoot the time one on the right. And let's just see if this works. This feels like not the intended solution, but I have to give it a try. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Oh, wait, so I'm gonna have to run there first, then do this juggling. Okay. Oh, not quite. And, yep. Okay, so it definitely doesn't want me to do this because whenever that one on the side changes position, it destroys any portal on its surface. Okay. So yeah, even if I could shoot them off, which is a maybe, if I were to have an orange one over there, it gets destroyed, and from here... Yeah, I could maybe get far enough to shoot one on that platform, but I have to get distinctly off to shoot one there. And if I set one up, then go back on, it's destroyed. Okay. So, good idea, but the mechanics of the game won't allow it. And the room is just a bit too tight. So we've got to look for another solution. Alright, let's go back to the present, think about things here a little. So, it feels important that we did that first step of setting up a block over there. The other plan I was thinking of didn't really do anything with that. So, yeah, over here, yeah. Okay, so, running through the options. Present on, present button. Whatever timeline I'm in, I need to keep one on the button without destroying it. So, how do I do that? And the problem is, in order to launch one off, it feels like I need to create a new one, and won't I be destroying it in either timeline? So, hold on, let me just look through. Is there a run button I'm missing that I can move faster? Let's see. Part of you, no. Okay. So I'm not missing a run button, and yeah, analog stick is already moving me as fast as possible anyway. Alright. So... Okay, let me think. I want one that theoretically doesn't get destroyed. So when I create a new one in the future, theoretically that shouldn't be destroying this one, although I guess, yeah. Okay, if I create a new one in the future, it destroys that one first. Yeah. It feels like that shouldn't happen, but it does. We have to live with it. Okay, one over here. So I can reset that to create the one in the future. I can take this back to the present. I could also take it to a different place in the present if I wish. But how do I shoot it? So I do have portable surfaces on the wall behind me. Let's see. Is there any other way to get some momentum? It really doesn't seem like there is. The only way to get momentum is to drop that. And let me just check. If I do this in the present, does it destroy both? Okay. So it does destroy both, but it destroys the future on a bit more of a delay. Maybe that will be useful? Let's see if we can use that. Okay, back to the present. Or, well... yeah, well, this is the future now. There we go. Okay, present one's over there. And go back, grab the present one. Actually, it can just be anywhere. Take the future one to the present and use the future one to hold that down. Let the present be just anywhere, doesn't matter. Then over here. So, thinking this through, in the present, if we set up 2 portals there and trigger one, will the future one stick around long enough for the new one to fall through the hole? Let's give it a go. No. Okay. Another idea that's a bit of a bust. Okay. Hold up, I'm just curious about the physics here. So if I drop one on a portal surface... okay. It's curious that the other one fell off, but... yeah. Yeah. Okay, never mind that. Alright, yeah, this is a stumper. Okay, let's try working backwards from the solution. So, in the end, we need to have a block there. Now, quick question. Can we finish in either timeline? Okay, yes. So, it is not clear whether we need to finish in the past or future. So we'll do whichever one happens to be convenient. Now, to get a block here, no portable surfaces around. Only plausible way is to get out of there when it's turned up to face us. And how do we get in there with enough momentum to go across? So, in this entire chamber, the only ground panel is over there. And we can drop one in either by, hitting the switch to drop it, or for a brief period, we can suspend one via time portal after dropping it, and maybe it will still have enough momentum after one drop. So let's just try it and see if we do still have enough after one drop. Okay, yes. So, after one drop, we do still have enough momentum. It's a bit tight on timing, and especially with a controller, could be a bit finicky, but it's not impossible. So, we have effectively two ways to drop it. One is hitting the switch, two is suspending it and then portal dancing. So, what can we do with this? First, I'm going to go back to the present and set up a block. Why am I not going through? There we go. Okay. Set up one of the blocks over there, so go to the future. Let's okay, present block is there. So in the future, if we create a new one, that should not affect the present block, right? So let me just... Yeah, future one is destroyed, present one stays. Okay. So I could put a time portal there, and the future one goes through into the present, goes up in the present, then back up here in the future. But it really limits my ability to get to the present where one is on the block. This could be like a little bit of a rush. So, what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to really run here. So, yeah. Okay, actually, this might be it. Yeah. Okay, so we're in the present. We'll just set a time portal there, and we'll set up our present portals like so. Okay, back in the future, and we're going to clear the platform, set up a time portal there. So, back in the present, that button is held down, and that one is shooting out. And when we look over there... Why did that... Oh, yeah, because we put a time portal there instead, which destroyed it in this timeline. So when we come back, we will have to recreate it. Okay, so... plan is we drop one in the future. As soon as it goes through the time portal, we create a time portal, come through ourselves. That'll clear up the platform. Then we shoot a blue down there, and in the present, it should go over. Okay. So once more, we need to clear that platform, create a time portal there. Okay. Ready, and let's go. Did I get it? Ugh, yes, I think that should do it. Okay.
Good. In case you were curious, no, we cannot make infinite clones of you because of the stupid rules of quantum mechanics. Only once you die can we take your atoms and recreate your body for continued perpetual testing.
Yeah, I don't think quantum mechanics would forbid infinite clones of me. Except in the sense that it forbids clones in the first place. There actually is a quantum mechanical law called the no cloning theorem, which basically states that it's impossible to create an arbitrary clone of a state. That is, you can't create an exact copy of something onto a destination state. So, yeah, if you want to hear more about that, look up no cloning theorem. That is a real thing. I'm just not an expert in it, so I can't really explain how it works off the cuff. So,
These lasers should provide a fun change of pace. Please be aware that some test elements may only be functional in one timeline.
okay, yep, lasers, lots of fun. Especially without glasses and when you're looking directly into them. But before we get to lasers, it looks like we're going on to testing different things here. So I just want to go back and comment a bit on what we just did with the timelines running in either dimension. So let's switch over to the whiteboard here. Okay, so let's imagine we have our timeline here. Time starts at 0, goes into the future, and it's a Japanese timeline, so we're skipping 4. Okay, so yeah, just imagine we have our timeline like this. Let's say we're counting in years. Eventually we get to 20. So the way portals seem to be working in this game is that they'll always take us exactly 20 years into the future or past. So this is actually one of the better ways to do time travel. Doing jumps like this, you run into fewer problems than you otherwise might. So let me draw the timeline again, starting at 0, and I'm going to draw it a bit weird, but it's actually just a straight timeline. I'm just drawing it weird. So I'm going to draw it. It goes off screen on the right and comes back at 20 on the left. So just imagine that here it's wrapping around a ways until it comes back here. We're not saying it's doing anything fancy. And then we have the same timeline here with similar ticks. So the way they've set this up is if we go through a time portal at any given time, let's say we go through one at time 1, that takes us out at time 21. So yeah, that's 21 there. So if we're following along a path here, go through a time portal, we would go there, and we would go along forever much. We come out of a time portal and end up there. And I'm not bringing this up to say there are any problems with it, as this is actually one of the ways of setting up time travel that causes the least amount of problems. Because when you basically have the clock running in 2 timelines at the same time, and it actually makes it decently hard to cause any paradoxes. So let's think through, how might we cause a paradox, and what would actually happen if we tried. So let's just set up our 2 timelines again here. Okay. So I'll give myself a bit more space to work, and yeah, excuse the rough drawing. So one of the things I tried to do earlier was to see if we could create infinite copies of the same box. So let's say we're going along here, we create a box, and then I'll just say we create a box there and leave it. So then that box has its own timeline for the next 20 years and comes out there. Then we decide on our timeline, okay, we're gonna hop over, we're gonna pick up the box in the future and carry it back with us. So in a sec, let me say, okay, so we've got this box and we're taking it back and we'll put it along side right there. So the game doesn't do this next part, but if it were more realistic, that yes, I am saying it could do time travel more realistically, that second box, which is now 20 years older, would also persist into the future and come out there. So we don't see this happening in game, although we should if it really wanted to handle time travel a bit better. So this does cause a bit of a paradox in that we're actually changing what our own perceived past should be. So if you remember, when we went on our timeline, we went to the future, stepping 20 years to the future, and so far there is absolutely zero chance of a paradox. Time traveling into the future is natural. I mean, you just sit there and wait. You travel to the future, and you can even accelerate it. You travel a good fraction the speed of light, you'll get to the future a lot faster than others. Slowing it down is a bit harder. You need to accelerate everyone else relative to you. That's a pretty big engineering problem, but if you could pull it off, the laws of physics say, yeah, you would get to the future slower. So, yeah, laws of physics are fine with you going into the future, and they even give you a straightforward path to do so. So, at this point, no problems. Okay, now we're going 20 years into the past, and it's at this point when we can start to potentially cause issues, as we could start violating causality and stuff. And in fact, we do. So when we take this box back and leave it, it should be there in the future, the absolute future, though our perceptual past, in that the box should have gone along, and then when we were there in the future, we should have seen two boxes, but in fact, we only saw one. So at first glance, this seems to be a paradox in that if we'd gone there and seen two boxes, that would have changed what we did. Now, we might have decided to just take one, bring it back, put it down, and we would be in a stable time loop. But what if we decided otherwise? What if we decided to take both of them back instead? So in an alternate path, we could have taken both of these down, and then in the present we have three. Like, what if we always plan to take back all the boxes that we find? Then we'll have three in the present, they'll all go into the future, and then we get three in the future. But we're taking back all, so we should take back that one, and now we've got four in the present, and four in the future. So, and then, yeah, this goes on infinitely. I mean, eventually it's limited by our ability to carry boxes. So, you know, and each of these times there's a different set of events happening for us. So we are causing something of a paradox. We are changing what happens along the timeline. And that word change is critical here, because time is exactly what you need to change something. And we're not changing things at a different point in time, we're changing things that happened at the same time. So essentially, what's going on here is that if you look at how I've drawn things vertically, we've basically got a second time-like dimension here, that as we go up, this is more and more change to the timeline. So in order to do all this, we have to introduce another dimension to work with. So effectively, the only way for time travel to work is if we have another dimension. So, if you're one of the viewers who watched my recent video on the Outer Wilds, I talked about all of this there. So, I'm going to leave out some of the details there. I'll try to set up a card to link directly to that video for anyone who wants to go and read all of the details. But I will skip to the punchline here. What we're showing here is that we need an extra dimension in order to allow this sort of time travel. And contrapositively, if we don't already have this extra dimension, then time travel is forbidden. So basically the logic goes, if time travel can change the past, we must have an extra dimension for changes in time to happen along. And then flipping that around and inverting it to get a logically equivalent statement, we get, if we don't have an extra axis of time for changes to happen along, we cannot have time travel to change the future. So, now, in the game, they've set it up, yeah, sure, you can have that dimension. In real life, what are the chances that we have such a dimension to work with that is otherwise unused until someone does time travel? I mean, by Occam's razor, this extra dimension here probably doesn't exist in reality, as it wouldn't be necessary unless we want to get funky with time travel, and getting funky with time travel would cause all sorts of problems. So in reality, it's most likely we have a simpler universe came into existence that doesn't have this dimension to spare. And in such a universe, time travel that changes the past would be completely forbidden. So basically, this is a logical argument that it should be impossible to time travel and change the past in our universe. Now, maybe this extra dimension does exist. We can't really prove it doesn't. But it's one huge hurdle that the setup of our universe would have to be just right to allow it. And honestly, it probably isn't. So, from a physics perspective, I think we can say that it is extremely unlikely time travel that changes the past is possible in our universe. Alright, anyways, let's get back to the game. Okay, now that I've disproven the premise of the game, let's go play it. So, fun with lasers. Okay, so we're in the present. We've got a laser there. Let's go to the future. Is the laser still active? No. Okay, so another change with time is that lasers may be deactivated. Now, as I recall from Portal 2, lasers can go through portals. So, yeah. Now, we can't really set up multiple portals for them to go through. Now, what if we set up a time portal there? So, goes through that, but yeah, okay. It wouldn't be safe to travel, but over in the future, yeah, I can set up a time portal there and it comes out. Can't really do much with it though. So, okay, back to the present. So let's have it go through a regular portal there. And we could have it go through a time portal over there. So furthest away from the nearby wall. So if we put in a time portal there, yeah, we do have it going out. And now in the future, it goes into the orange and out of the blue. So yes, I can keep it going. Okay. So I'm gonna need to jump over the laser. And yep, I can put blue there.
Great.
It goes in.
By now, you might be wondering how it is possible to hear these automated messages, regardless of which timeline you're in. We implanted a small device directly into your brain. That way, you can hear these messages as if they were the voice of your own conscience. Well, they practically are. considering how much of your cerebral cortex we had to remove to make this work.
Oh. So that's why I don't have any qualms about trying to destroy the fabric of reality right now. No conscience left. Brilliant. Okay. Huh. Can we jump up there? No, don't think we can. Okay. Alright, next test chamber, number 14. Let's get to the present. I always like checking things out in the present first. Okay. So, step 1. For figuring anything out, it always feels useful to work backwards from the solution. So, we need to get a laser shooting in there. And okay, I don't know what these do. It's possible that they were in Portal 2 and I just don't remember them. But in any case, okay, we've got a laser only in the future this time. So let's set it up so that we're shooting one of those. Okay. No obvious effect. Alright. Okay, but we do have the check there. Okay. So, presumably we have to activate all 3 of them. And also, presumably, we'd have to activate all 3 in the same timeline. So, how would we do that? Now, is there any way we can get something going at an angle to get 2 of them? No, I don't think so. Okay. I think that's the laser that's active in the future. And this is the receptor. So, I don't know how we could get that receptor to be active. But, wait. What does this do? Okay. Special block. Let's take it to the future where we have lasers. We cannot take it to the future. Can we create one in the future? Oh, yeah. Right, we could have just left it behind to take it to the future. So what happens if we put it down? Okay. So it's basically a mirror-ish. Okay, so we have the most to work with. Let's go to the present, create one of those, and then when we're in the future, we can go over to the future, grab the future copy of this, and set it down so that we have a second one to work with. So let's go to the future here. So first, we're gonna have to set up future portals so that we'll want to set them up as conveniently as possible. Oh. Cool. Warm and toasty. Alright, so as soon as this comes out in the present, it goes and hits one. And we don't really have any room behind it to turn it anywhere. So, final step, presumably, we're going to want to trigger this receptor. So let's set that down there. And we'll go through our time portal, grab the future version of that, bring it back to the present so that we have 2 of them to work with. Okay. So, we'll deal with the portals in the future later. But for now, let's see. In the present, we've got it going in there. Where do we want it to come out? So we need it to hit both of these. So my gut says we want it to come out here. Well, actually, wait. So we need to go through one of them. Let's see. So if we go through there, it'll go through this one and potentially hit that one. We might have to realign it, but we can always do that. But we would be missing this one. Okay, so we've got one there. Now, how do we get the center one? Okay, now what if actually... Yes, this angle might actually work, so... I'm just thinking through. Maybe we don't actually want to go to this one first. And instead... we could do a shot down here. Okay, let's think about this for a second. Might help to go to the future and set things up there. Okay, so that goes through. The blue comes out on the other side, so things aren't quite lined up here. But in any case, we would need to go into that one. So here, this actually wouldn't work because we need to get that one. So what if our orange portal comes out to hit that one? We would have to... Okay, this might work. So we'll leave coming back for that one later. We'd set that up kind of like that. Okay. To the future. Set up our orange portal there. So the laser goes through. Let's check our alignment. Okay, we're going to have to readjust that. So first of all, I'll readjust the orange one to be a bit over. Try to get this as central as possible. Yeah, bear with me using controller here so you don't hear the sounds of my rather loud keyboard. Okay, so to the future, set up the orange one again. Okay, now it's damaging me. What's going on? Yeah, anyway. Okay. So I'll set that up to go through there. Then back to the future. Grab it. And to the present. And let's see if we have enough room there to turn it around and hit the receptor. Does that work? Yes, yes it does. Ah, brilliant. One more puzzle down. Come on, Conscience, don't you have anything to say to me?
Things are about to get a little more complicated in the next chamber. But don't lose hope. Think about this. As long as you don't see your own corpse lying in the future, it is safe to assume that you solved the chamber sometime during the last 20 years.
Thank you, Conscience. You really should be trying harder to convince me not to destroy reality, because I'm still looking for a way to do that. Okay. So, I think I'm actually going to leave it here for today. I'm a bit short on time since I had to replay part of the game. So, we can come back to this test chamber next time. And I'll hopefully see you all again soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and click the bell to be sure you get notifications of new uploads. See you again soon.